to go on Hinge and entertain conversations with men just for research purposes. One common theme that I see in these like tech guy circles is they think that they're different. They're like, oh, I'm not like the macho guy. I just want to be appreciated and loved for who I am. And for some reason, they're like really weird and protective about their money. Inevitably, I always get the question if I think that men should pay on dates. As a generalization, yeah, I think that men should pay. Why? Because women are doing all of the emotional labor. And in a society that commodifies status, and having a woman who is objectified and commodified going out on a date with a beautiful woman ups this guy's status, which ultimately makes him seem more successful, and it gives him more social benefits than it does for us to be seen with him. If anything, it's actually to the detriment of the value of our image as a woman. To be a woman in a society that commodifies women means that your value comes from how much you're wanted. The more conventionally attractive you are, then the more valuable you are. Therefore, what the fuck is he bringing to the table? Why would any woman take time out of our lives to sit across the table from this schmuck? So back to the tech guy part of this. They think that they're different. Because they're not masculine, they live outside of the rules. You still need to bring something to the table. So it's so funny when they're like, women just want one thing. They're just gold diggers. What's the big deal of spending $100 on a dinner when you don't have any fucking hobbies or interests? Like, what else are you spending your money on? Pickleball, that's it. Men rely on women for emotional intimacy, human connection, because of the frameworks of patriarchy. They cannot rely on one another. They can't get human connection and intimacy from each other, from other men. And so if you were to look at, say, like a hierarchy of needs, like, okay, well, your survival, even really just your success in your life, in your business, in your job, whatever it is reliant on a woman sacrificing her own emotional needs, her own emotional depth to carry your ass through a fucking conversation. Fucking pay the $100 for a meal, dude. Oh my god. I don't understand the emotional labor that goes into literally having a conversation with them. They're like, I just want to be loved for who I am, not for my money. It's like, you don't have a personality. So you either have to bring a personality, you need to bring some emotional depth, you need to bring like something to the table, or just pay the bill. If you don't want to do the work on yourself, what's $100? You know, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. It seems like they just don't seem to understand that patriarchy is the trap. And in this trap, you have to perform masculinity in order to be valuable. And they could easily remove themselves from the situation altogether and just be decent human beings by not subscribing to the patriarchy. However, they want to stay within those confines because they do gain some privilege by being in proximity to it and being men. And so basically they're coming up to this paradox where they're not masculine, so they think that makes them more of a prize, but it actually just kind of makes them a loser. There is no bigger victim than a man in the tech world, let me tell you that. Anyway, it's just funny to me because it's like, okay, well, congratulations, now no one fucking likes you.
This woman swears up and down that she sounds like that beautiful women are God's gift to men. Men are the prize, that's one. Two, these tech guys she's putting down, these guys is who I think they are, especially in the IT department. They make the guys usually make about six figures. Some of these guys, it's like, come on, really? And you say they had no personality based on what? Based on what you think? I'll call a question for women and women like her. I don't care if she consider herself a 10. Do you bring these three things? Respect, love, and peace. It's got to be all three. It can't be one, can't be two, got to be all three. For what I'm hearing, she don't bring anything except her looks, her attitude, oh yeah, and her entitlements. Spend $100 for her day. No. Number one, I don't care what any of these women say. First meeting somebody for the first time meeting, coffee date. So that way you get to know them. That way you know beyond shadow of a doubt if she's worth spending $100 for. I did a video about a woman that a guy spent over $100 for a first dinner date. He bought her expensive dinners, gifts, and all that. And he wanted to know he could take her home, he's be his girl. She said, I don't know. Then she said, first she said, I don't know. She said, no. And then he asked to split the bill. She said, nope, and just left. Hence why I prefer the coffee dates. So, and this woman thinks she's surprised. No, there's way more beautiful women than there are available men, especially at top tier. Because let's face facts, for women like her, they will ignore, this is one thing they won't talk about. They will ignore the bottom 80%. They're always going for the top tier dudes. Guys who make six figures, over 6 feet tall, and have six-pack of abs. But I think there's a video about a woman who confessed that maybe these women, are the problem. Found a man who checked all the boxes. Then she says the one thing that turned guys off, the one thing she said to make guys say like, I ain't gonna bother anymore, he's too nice. So basically, the guy checks off every box you require of him to be your man. He's too nice, so you refer to the guy that cheats on you? And when he does, you feel a certain way? Yeah, you are the problem. But that's for another video. But as for the first woman, put on the makeup, try to fake like she's God's gift to men, guaranteed she's single. So more of the story, ladies, unless you bring respect, love, and peace, don't come to the table. I said what I said.